Hello. Hello. All right, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I do these live streams now every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a whole lot of you who are already showing up every day. It means a lot to me that you come to my channel and watch my show every day. So thank you. On this show, I go over different entertainment news, different movie news. I give you strike updates, AI updates. Sometimes we just talk about funny, weird things in the news. It's mainly just a conversation with you guys, a conversation with an audience. And today we have a lot of really fun things to talk about. We have finally some more casting rumors about who could be the Fantastic Four for the new MCU. So we'll see about that. I don't know how I feel about some of the potential casting choices, but we'll talk about it. Also, I'm going to go into my non-spoiler Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle review. I did just see it yesterday because I know a lot of you requested it. So I'm going to give you my non-spoiler thoughts about halfway through. So that's what we have in store today. How is everyone doing? Hi Soggy Concha, hi Prince, hi Roly Fan, hi V, hi Barbie and Ken Edits. Hi Editing Geek, hi Glitch Motion, hi Miri, hi Phoenix Hunter, hi Jonathan, hi Some Person Skywalking, hi Maiden, hi Creature Marine, hi Koharu, hi everyone who's here. I'm just gonna go straight into it. So we do have some like non-Fantastic Four and non TMNT news as well. Just some like strange entertainment news right off the top. And that's of course Barbie's impact. Because Barbie is such a massive, massive hit. Of course, now Hollywood is trying to recreate that success however means possible. And that means that they're now developing a live action Monopoly movie. A live action Monopoly movie. You know, when we were talking about the Mattel Cinematic Universe just a few days ago, didn't we bring up the fact that a Monopoly movie would actually make sense? Like that was the one toy brand, the one game that actually could be a good movie. So I feel like they could do something here, but it's like, it's so predictable at this point. It's like, oh wow, the Barbie movie did so well. Now we have a live action Monopoly movie. Because of course. Natanya's here for the Monopoly movie. Okay, like I said, I actually think there's promise here. It's so funny to me because I'm like, oh, this was so predictable. Prince says, I told you it's gonna happen. I know, Prince, you also predicted it. I know. Anyone else excited for this? Anyone like, oh no, I'm not saying this? Some person skywalking says, bro, Monopoly is real life. Very true, very true. Maiden says, why does it need to be live action though? Why can't it be animated? I don't know. I feel like Hollywood needs to read the room and see like how these animated movies are doing so well recently. And I think they should be like thinking maybe we don't need to make everything live action. Like maybe certain properties are better animated. That's very true. This could be good live action or animated, but it would have been interesting if it was animated. I know, Brianna, it's all just brands. Sagi Concha says, Liar, the Monopoly movie, it might be good. Yeah, I'm thinking it could be good. Hopefully. I just had to bring this up at first because I just think just a few days ago we were like, oh, they're probably going to do a Monopoly movie, and then here we go. We all predicted it together. All right, moving on to other Barbie sort of related news. Again, because Barbie was so successful. Now Crayola, the company that makes your crayons. They're launching their own Hollywood studio. They're going to make movies for kids and families, obviously, but I think this is very, very clearly because the Barbie movie again did so well. So now we're about to get movies based on everything. Every toy, every board game, every like children's related object. Soon there's going to be just, I don't know, Slime the movie, or there's going to be, I don't know, just what do kids do? Eat Racers the movie? Like, I don't know. It's so silly to me. I know. I love how everyone in the chat's like, what the heck? Soggy Contra says this is a joke, right? Right? It's gonna be so goofy. I mean, to be fair, we don't know. They might make some interesting properties, some interesting movies. But I mean, I just think it's like, wow, Barbie, what did you do? I really liked you. You're a great movie. But the impact this movie has already had on the industry, I don't know if it's gonna be positive, you guys. Yeah. Oh God. Medjamin says the Titanic is sinking. Let's get on board. Is this what it feels like to be on the Titanic? Oh God. Moving on. Oh yeah. We also have Zachary Levi. This is the last bit of non-Fantastic Four or TMNT stuff. We have Zachary Levi, who put his foot in his mouth as he always does. But this time, he really did it. I think at this point he knows that he's so disliked on the internet that he's like, whatever, I'll lean into being canceled or whatever. Because look at what he's about to say. He's talking about how he thinks that the strike rules where actors can't promote anything is really dumb. Just listen to what he's saying. I mean, what? Just listen.
I'm not allowed to talk about... This is so dumb. I'm not allowed to talk about any of my previous work. I'm not allowed to talk about movies that I may be a superhero in. I'm not allowed to talk about TV shows that I may have been a nerd who worked at a Best Buy kind of Malcolm.
He's really upset he can't talk about these movies.
Princess movies that I was fantastic in as the best prince ever. I'm not allowed to talk.
He's like teasing all the movies that he's been in by describing them but not naming them. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Do you not support the strike or not? I mean, if you don't support the strike, you might as well just say it. I mean, like all of this teasing. I mean, what is this? And the evil villain laugh. Exactly. Like, what is this man doing? It's like he really wants to be Twitter's #1 enemy. Not all of Twitter, just film Twitter. Oh no, Fodfreed says I used to like him. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, I like his Flynn Rider. That's about the only thing I really cared for him in. Yeah, the evil laugh, he doesn't seem good, right? Like, what was the evil laugh for? Editing Geek says, I'll be honest, I think it's dumb how they can't talk about previous work. Okay, but I don't think that they should promote upcoming movies. That's fair. To be honest, I didn't even realize that the rules also extended to past work. I thought it was just upcoming work. And to be fair, I think you should be able to talk about stuff that already came out, because it's not like you're promoting something new that can make more money. It's something that already made money. So I kind of get that point, but I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he probably just has a problem with not being able to talk about anything. Hi, Rachel. Maiden says, I guess I can't understand why he would be upset. Oh, you can understand. The strikes is because people aren't being paid, yet the actors can't talk about their movies so that they can get paid more, even though he wouldn't anyway. I get what you're saying, Maiden, but the thing is, the strike has to have consequences or it means nothing. If the actors can just keep promoting their work and go about their day and everything's fine, that's not really providing much of an impact or consequence for the studios. So they kind of lose any of their negotiating tactics. We have Dee Dee just gifted a super chat. Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you so much for gifting a super chat. I did allow that function now, so if anyone wants to do that, you can. Or if you want to be a member yourself, you could just press the member button at the bottom of the screen. Or I am going to put a link in the description so you can click it if you're on iOS. But thank you so much, Dee Dee. Brianna Does Art says, I'm still calling it Twitter because X sounds like an adult website. I know, it's so stupid. I look over here in the corner and I see this dumb logo and I'm like, why? Please turn it back. I'm with you there. We also have Shelly. Thank you so much, Shelly. You guys are, oh my gosh, Shelly gifted 5 memberships. Shelly, you are always so kind and generous. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shelly. So it looks like Editing Geek has a membership now. Hunty has a membership. Little Kitty has a membership. Mikey has a membership. Welcome aboard. Thank you guys. Sandra also has a membership. Welcome everyone. Yes, thank you. You guys are so generous. Again, if you are a member, you do get a personal shout out in all of my videos. Plus, you do get members only discussions and the community page on my channel, so we can have private members only chats. Again, it's also just a way to support the channel. So again, thank you, very much appreciated. I do miss the bluebird as well. I know the X is so stupid. All right. Moving on. So now we can talk about the Fantastic Four news. Now, Grace Randolph, she did say that she heard that these are the finalists for who could play Reed Richards. Matt Smith, Dev Patel, and Adam Driver. Honestly, I could see any of them in the role. I actually think all of them are not bad. Even Matt Smith. Even though Twitter is really going hard on Matt Smith for some reason, I think he could do it. I think he's very, very talented and very versatile. I don't know. Who would you guys want to be Reed Richards out of this group? Do you guys even care about Marvel's Fantastic Four to begin with? I do know that a lot of you said that you're just kind of done with Marvel entirely right now. Like, you just don't even care about these movies at all, which, to be fair, I understand. But are you at least excited for Fantastic Four, or are you like, nah, I don't even care about this? Because to be honest, I feel like Fantastic Four is still something that could be good, and I'm still holding out hope for it. I still have a little bit of hype left for this movie. And if they cast Matt Smith, who I love, I would even be more excited for this movie, to be honest. Oh, Databing does not want Adam Driver. Interesting. Oh, Cindy, you love my general tone. Thank you so much. I've heard a couple of you mention my voice, and thank you. I didn't know I had a nice talking voice. Thank you. Gold-Blooded Six says, I still see the words tweet on certain parts of the site. Yeah, Twitter's an absolute mess. It still says Twitter and tweet on like half the site if you really look for it. It's a mess. Derek Jones says, I'd prefer Matt Smith out of the three, as he'd capture the obsessive scientist vibe best. But yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I think Matt Smith has the most versatility out of the three, to be honest. Like, I like Adam Driver and I like Dev Patel. Although Dev Patel also has a lot of versatility. Really, I just mean that about poor Adam Driver. I like Adam. But I feel like he's kind of the same in everything he's in, to be fair. He's kind of my least favorite choice out of this three. I'm going to do a poll because I'm curious to see what you guys think. Who would you want to play Reed Richards? Starting a poll. Just going to put Reed Richards. I'm going to put Matt Smith. Dev Patel. Oh. And the last one was Adam Driver. Okay. I told you who I would choose, but who are you guys going to choose? Again, this is completely anonymous, so you can say whatever. All right, ask the community right now. All right, Will French says, who is Reed Richards? Okay, that's a fair question. Reed Richards is kind of the lead guy on the Fantastic Four team. Marvel is trying to reboot the Fantastic Four for a third time after Fan Four Stick and the early 2000s Fantastic Four movies. They're still in the middle of trying to cast this thing. We've heard nonstop repeated castings over and over again. So it's kind of crazy that we're just now still hearing things like a year later. It's like, can we finally just get the casting already? All right, so 60% of you agree with me and say Matt Smith. Thank you. I also agree, Matt Smith. Thank you. 19% say Dev Patel. Okay. And 20% say Adam Driver. So Dev Patel and Adam Driver are pretty split. But Matt Smith by far wins this poll. So I'm kind of happy about that. So I'm going to end it here. 0.0 says Matt Smith is the oldest looking one. Not a bad thing, so I'd say him. Yeah, I think he has the look for it. Lala Kitty says, who is Matt Smith? Well, he's been in a number of things. He's in the recent season of House of the Dragon. He was in Morbius, although I don't think he wants to be remembered for Morbius. He is also the 11th Doctor in Doctor Who. He's been in a couple of things. No motion going. Don't cast Zachary Levi. What are you talking about? No. Jaden Whedon. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Personally, I'd like Dev to be given a chance over someone with an established name. That's a good point. That's a good point. I do like that they're starting to go with more like less established names, and we'll go over that once we go to the other characters. But yeah, I think Dev could really use like a big role. Like, what's been his biggest role so far? I feel like he's been given kind of like medium-sized movies. Like, I don't think I have seen him in something big, so that's a good point, Jaden. He's a great actor. I do like him. He was also on the Crown. Thank you too, Jaira. I forgot about that. He was also on the Crown. He has a lot of sass, apparently. All right, moving on. Sorry. Vanessa Kirby is also supposed to be Sue Storm. So Sue Storm is another member of the Fantastic Four. She can turn invisible. I don't read the comics. I don't even know anything about the comics, to be honest. I just know about the movies. I've seen all the movies. So I can tell you based off of like what I've seen from the films, if I like these characters, that's as far as I go. But if you don't know who Vanessa Kirby is, she was in the recent Mission Impossible movie. I really liked her in that. She was also in The Crown. You might recognize her from a few other things here on her IMDb page, but she's been in a couple things, but hasn't had like a huge breakout role or anything. So this could be really good for her. I liked her in Mission Impossible, so I'm fine with this. Anyone have any thoughts about her as Sue Storm, or would you want someone else? I think Margot Robbie also almost had the role. That would have been nice to see. I really like Margot. Yellow Umbrella says, people want Margot Robbie to be Sue Storm. Yeah, I know. Well, I think she was offered the role, but like turned it down. So I don't know. She would have been great in the part. After seeing Barbie, I'd see Margot Robbie in anything. Prince says, I want to see Chris Evans return as Human Torch. No. I hope for Marvel if he comes back. I don't think Chris Evans is going to return as Human Torch. I feel like that's getting too meta. Like, you got to establish some rules, some boundaries. I don't know. Okay, most of you guys in the chat are just saying Margot. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Vanessa Kirby. To be honest, I haven't really seen her in that much other than the Mission Impossible stuff, so yeah. But then again, to the last point, it would be nice to give the role to an actress who is lesser known. Everyone knows who Margot Robbie is, so we could also just... I think Hollywood does need to, like, give newer actors more chances to break out, so that could also be nice. At least for her. Maybe she'll become a known actress after something like this. Also, for Johnny Storm, this is why I put Joseph Quinn in the thumbnail. Someone was asking in the chat. They were like, are we talking about Stranger Things? No. Joseph Quinn, who of course played Eddie Munson in the recent season of Stranger Things, he is apparently rumored to be Johnny Storm, who was the character that Chris Evans played in the first movie. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm comparing him to Chris Evans because again, that's really my main source of reference. And I don't really feel like they're the same type. Like, I don't feel like Joseph Quinn is like silly enough for the kind of role that is. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about him. What do you guys think? Even though I really like him. Oh, Motion Going says, no, don't cast him. Oh, why? Editing Geek says, as a Stranger Things super fan, I'm super happy for Joseph. Yeah, I know. I'm happy that he's getting work off of the show. He's working. He's also in the A Quiet Place spinoff, so he's doing stuff. Maiden says, since Margot was in Suicide Squad, it would have been interesting to see her play this role as well. I know. I would have liked to have seen Margot in this movie. Maybe she'll return. I don't know. Or maybe she should play a different role in the MCU. Honestly, I think Margot could get a bigger role than Sue Storm. She should get her own, like, character or whatever. Like a one that's not part of a team or something. Maiden says, since Margot was in Suicide Squad, it would have been interesting to see her play this role as well. Oh, I just read that. Prince says, no, I can't see him as Human Torch. Yeah, most of the chat is saying no. Most of the chat is saying no. Okay, I'm fascinated. All right, this is time for another poll. Time for another poll. Do you guys like Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch? Okay, Joseph Quinn. I'm just going to put yes or no. Okay. Asking the community. Don't know who he is, says Molly. Well, if you saw Stranger Things, then you would know. If you haven't, yeah, you probably have no idea who he is, because I don't think he's really been in anything else. Shavivi says, I enjoyed him in Stranger Things, but not for this. Yeah, it seems like, okay, so far, you guys are actually 50-50, like exactly 50-50 in the poll. You guys are so interesting. You're like evenly split. Interesting. So right now, it's about 52 to 48% favoring yes, but only slightly. So you guys are very, very split about this. Interesting. Ending the poll. Speedy, aka Leah, wants Zac Efron. I would want Zac Efron, but I don't know. He did something to his jaw that's very distracting. I wish I used to love that man. I'll tell you, when I was a little kid, I was obsessed with High School Musical, and I thought Zac Efron was gonna be my boyfriend one day. And then I just fell out of love with him, and now I'm just like, I don't know anymore. Mikey says, oh, I couldn't vote. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mikey. Maybe next time. Okay, so a couple of you think Zac Efron could be it. Although Yellow Umbrella agrees with me. Zac Efron looks weird now. Yes, exactly. Editing Geek says, I think Zac Efron got into a bad accident and needed surgery on his jaw. I know, I did hear that, and I'm so sorry that he got into that accident, but I think the plastic surgeon overdid it. And I'm not going to look up the pictures. You can find them on your own. But I don't know. I feel like he kind of messed up his image a little bit. No hate to him. I love, why can't I think of his name? Zach. I love Zach, but no, probably not for this. All right. Moving on to the next character. And this is the next one where I'm just like, why would you even want this role after they describe it this way? Because look at this. Apparently, Marvel wants a, quote, fat white guy to play the Thing. And I'm just like, why would you describe it that way? Imagine you're like some random actor somewhere and you're like, I'm a fat white guy. Can I play the role? Like, I don't know. Actors really got to have thick skin because, like, if this is how they're describing the characters, man, I don't know. I just found this to be really funny. Nicholas says, I just looked up those pics. He looks like a glitched video game character. Yeah, Nicholas, it's not good. It's not good. Barbie and Ken Edit says, will you watch the Strays movie with Jamie Foxx? Oh, no. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do I want to watch an R-rated raunchy dog movie? Does anyone want to watch that? I don't know. Yellow Umbrella. Yellow Umbrella says the MCU is going the same way as Lizzo. Oh, dang. Those Lizzo charges are crazy. Every day I'm just like, what now? Anyway, that's pretty much all there is to say about Fantastic Four right now. I think I like the actors that are involved here. The only one I'm a little bit questionable about is Joseph Quinn. I like him as an actor, but I just don't know if I can see him as Johnny Storm. Again, because I think of him as like Chris Evans now, where he's just like a boyish sort of jock character, and I just can't see Joseph Quinn that way. I don't know. Overall, I think the list is kind of strong. I think the movie could be kind of okay. We'll see. But now I'm about to move on to the TMNT review. Again, I'm calling it TMNT because for whatever reason, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sounds like it's a tongue twister for me. I just can't say it. I can't say it. Okay, Mikey says 2 of the 4 actors are good. Okay. Oh, Jack Black. Jack Black as the Thing. Oh, why didn't I ever thought of that? Jack Black as the Thing would be so cool. Yeah, Jack Black. Okay, yes, now I won't accept anyone else. That's who I want to play it. That's a great idea. Thank you. All right, moving on to TMNT. So, I saw TMNT Mutant Mayhem yesterday. And just for complete, transparency's sake, I am not some TMNT fan. I didn't grow up with it as a kid. My first exposure to this property was the Megan Fox, Michael Bay movie in the early 2010s. I have no, sort of nostalgia about it. I knew really almost nothing about the characters going in. So I kind of represented the audience member that they needed to get to. They needed to get to people like me who don't know this brand, who don't know these characters, who just want a good story. So I feel like I represent kind of the layman's perspective on this movie. Because I've watched a couple of reviews on this film, and I feel like everyone who I watched was like, "Oh yeah, I loved this show, or I loved this movie as a kid." It isn't spoiler free, so don't worry about spoilers. And I'm just I'm curious to see, this is before I watched the movie. I was like, I'm curious to see, as someone who is not familiar with the property, would I still have the same feelings for it? So, here is now my thoughts on what I thought. On what I thought of the movie. So firstly, I have to say, props to Seth Rogen. He is the main producer behind this film. He's been the main one promoting it. It's his face, all over the marketing for this movie. I'm pretty sure he has it, just based off a lot of the humor and a lot of, the writing and stuff. I'm pretty sure he had a huge, hand in, developing and shaping this movie entirely. So I want to give my props to him. I think this is very different from his usual stuff, and I think he did a good job for an animated family film. I don't think he's ever done something like that, so I think he did a great job. Overall, I'd say the movie itself is pretty good. I know I normally leave the rating I give for it at the end, but I need to explain something. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10, even though I did like it, and I'm going to explain why I liked it, but I'm also going to explain at the end why I still give it a 7 out of 10. I know a number of you are like, oh no, this movie is fantastic, what do you mean? But I'm going to explain. Here's why I was a little bit left out, and this is why I think I had to explain why I have no nostalgia for this property, because I think in order to be fully bought into it, you kind of had to have a little bit of nostalgia for it. But I'll explain. Firstly, I do love the art. It looked kind of like it was sketched in with marker and crayons and a little bit of watercolor at times. It was like Spider-Verse in the way that they incorporated a lot of different art styles, but it was still its own unique art style. It wasn't the exact same art style as Spider-Verse, but it still had this sort of sketchiness, this sort of rawness about it that I really, really liked. And I just thought it was very attractive how they made it look. Okay, I'm glad that you guys are a 7 is fine. ACP says, is it appropriate for a younger child? Oh yeah, I would say the prime audience for this movie is actually little boys. Yes, little girls can like this too, but I feel like this movie specifically taps into little boy energy. In fact, I was in a theater full of parents and little boys, and that was it. And I was just I don't think I'm the target audience for this film. But that's fair. Although, to be fair, at the same time, in the marketing, they kept hyping up the fact that this was supposed to be an all-ages film. Although, at the same time, I do think it plays very, very young. Because even at certain times in the movie when they change different art styles, they'll have it look like the drawing is like a little kid drawing on it. And I think that's really, really cute. Like, it looks like a little kid's drawing come to life. Like, they do several things in this movie where I'm like, okay, they're definitely angling towards a very, very young audience. And that's totally fine. But at the same time, I feel like they were trying to pander to a young audience too much at times. Like, they kept throwing up all these references to different IPs and different movies and franchises that I think the writers think kids are interested in. But even some of the references that they had in the movie today felt very dated. Oh, we have a new member. Thank you so much, BazBanter93. Thank you to becoming a member. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, you guys are all becoming members today. I'm so happy. But yes, it's just, I don't know. I do really, really enjoy the movie, and I did like the art style, but it did feel like it was trying too hard to pander to be like cool and hip. Like, there were so many references to like the Avengers. There was a reference to Adele. There was a reference to like a whole bunch of stuff where I was like, okay, I get it. At one point, the amount of like references per minute was starting to remind me of Velma. I know. This movie is nowhere near as bad as Velma. I'm not saying it is. But at the same time, I just felt like the meta-ness and the references were so much that it was like starting to get annoying. And again, I feel like it just really dated the movie. Already, even some of the references, I was like, oh, that was relevant like 2 years ago. I just kind of wish that they hadn't done that. I know, not Adele. I do like Adele, I do. But it was so random. That's like the kind of references that they throw out in this movie. I'm just like, oh yeah, we're supposed to laugh because I recognize the thing. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I know, not Velma. I'm not saying it's exactly like Velma. It's not nearly that bad. I'm just saying the amount of pop cultural references reminded me of Velma. And I wanted to show you this face because even though I do like the art style, and I really do, it was very expressive, very beautiful. One of the things that I didn't like about the art style is like everyone's face was so mushed up and contorted and weird. I was like, why is everyone's face looking like this? This is just one example, y'all. And this isn't an exaggeration because they're getting hit or whatever. This is like how everyone's face looks when they're just standing there. Like, some of these faces, I know y'all are probably like, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about the faces? You'll understand what I mean when you watch the movie. I was so distracted. I was like, why do they not have chins? Why is everyone's face lopsided? Why does not a single person in the city have a symmetrical face? It was like, oh, their faces were like just molded out of clay or something. I don't know. It was just very distracting. Thank you again, Shelly. Oh my gosh, Shelly, you're so supportive. Thank you. I really enjoyed this movie. Pop culture stuff and all. The April character reminded me of you. That's funny because I thought the same. A plucky and determined young woman who gets it done when she needs to. Oh, thank you, Shelly. That is so nice. You were so kind. Thank you. I will talk about April in a second, but yes, I also liked April. Okay, so do you guys agree with me? Hidden Name says that they agree. Okay, thank you. Will French also didn't like the movie. Interesting. I did like the movie. I'm not saying I didn't. I did like the movie. I don't feel like I'm as overwhelmingly positive about it as like every other reviewer on this platform is. I'm probably the harshest on it that I've seen, at least. Ethereal Dragon says the art is so bad. Oh no, I don't think the art is bad. I just think that the human character designs are weird looking. Everything else about it I really liked. It was just the faces that I was like, why do they look like that? Looks very, very weird. But other than that, I really loved that the turtles themselves were portrayed as like a family unit. They were very, very close together. They were very, very friendly. I thought this movie had a lot of really kind, innocent messages for young kids that I think are very positive for the world today. Things about family and sticking together and like brotherhood and just nice, fuzzy, warm things that we need more of in the world. So I appreciated the kind of wholesomeness about the film. That was very sweet. Again, Again, I did like the humor. It was funny. I got a couple chuckles out of the movie, but I do think the humor at times was like a little forced and a little too much pandering. Not all the jokes landed. Some of the jokes just like went dead silent in my audience. Ethereal Dragon says, "Stop giving nerd characters glasses." Yeah, they're always gonna do that. I don't think Hollywood's gonna stop that trope ever. Jules Elizabeth says, "I love that the boys got to actually be teens." Yes, all the voice actors for the Turtles are actually played by teenagers. And I thought that made a huge difference because the voice acting from the teenagers I thought was some of the best work from the movie. I thought they all came across as like their age. I thought they came across as very realistically teenagery. Like, you know how when I saw the new DreamWorks movie Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, and I said like all the teenagers sounded like millennials trying to sound like teenagers? I did think that in this case that the mutant turtles actually did sound like teenagers. So that's the biggest difference. I did love don't hate me, guys. I'm sorry I don't know all these names again. I'm very fresh to this property. But the rat character, I really liked him. I thought he was very good, like Papa Bear figure. He was very funny. He has one line that I can't even spoil it for you, but it was so funny. It was the funniest line in the film. I laughed so hard. He was great. I just liked him. Again, April. Shelly kind of beat me to it, but I liked April a lot too. We kind of had a lot in common, even the broadcasting stuff. She was really great. I know that she's apparently a lot different from previous versions, but the only other version of April I have to compare to is Megan Fox, so I'm like, I don't know, I kind of liked both. They're fine. She served the plot well, I guess. She's kind of like the typical, not even typical. I wouldn't even say the word typical. She's the crush of one of the Teenage Mutant Turtles. Okay, I know you guys are probably crucifying me because I don't know. What are their names? I know one of them is Leo, right? Anyways, I'm just saying I do like April. And I think that she worked well with the other characters. Again, they were all like family together. It was very sweet. I also like the villain. The voice work from the villain was also amazing. Again, he was kind of creepy. I like that the movie allowed itself to go a little bit more mature at times. Again, I was kind of comparing this movie to like recent Disney animated films. And this movie is a lot more dark. It's a lot more mature. It's a lot darker than a lot of Disney movies that they do now. And I think that actually works in this movie's favor because he's actually a really good villain. And he actually tries to hurt the turtles. Like he's not pulling back. He's not a weak villain. So I really appreciated that. But overall, I really liked the movie. Again, I give it a 7 out of 10. The reason I can't give it higher is because to be fair, as I was watching most of the movie, I was kind of just like, oh, this is good. Like, it just felt like I was content throughout most of it. Like, yeah, I occasionally laughed a couple times, but at no point did I ever feel like my heart was racing. Did I ever feel like super emotional? Did I ever feel like, I don't know. There was no point in the movie where I felt like the movie was pulling me in any one way or like making me feel like strongly about anything. I just kind of felt fine the whole time. Even though I liked it, it was just kind of like, oh, that was good. Okay. So that's why overall, even though I liked it, I think as a true beginner, it's a great place to start. But I also think having the nostalgia and the rose-colored glasses probably also make this movie more of a 10 than a 7. But that's my review of the movie, my non-spoiler review. Who has seen it? I do have the member question of the day I want to get back to. Because I did ask my members, again, if you're a new member, I have a lot of new members today. I ask you guys questions over in the community tab. And today I asked you guys if you have seen the new TMNT movie or if you plan to. We got a few questions or a few statements from Jojo Rod. Thank you, Joe. I definitely will be watching this movie. It seems like a breath of fresh air from the recent flops we've been getting from the usual high-end animation studios. It does seem like a fresher breath air. I do agree with you, Joe. I think the most fresh thing about it is the art style. I'd say the art style is more innovative and fresh than the story. At the end of the day, the story is still mainly just about a group of teenagers who have to fight a villain who wants to take over the world. I don't think the story is all that like super inventive or that new or fresh, but the visuals are fresh. I think that the action sequences were really lively and nice, so I think that's fresh. But I do wish that the story could have just been a little bit more, I don't know, creative. But thank you for the comment, and thank you for being a member. Also from Dee Dee, I kind of want to see it, but I'm waiting for word of mouth to see if it's worth the money. Honestly, I kind of think you should check it out on digital. I'm sorry. I think this is a streaming movie. I think if you have kids and if you need something to do in the hot heat, your kids are probably gonna enjoy it, maybe. Although there was a kid behind me who did seem kind of bored for half the movie. So I do think if you have like super young kids who have terrible attention spans, the movie might be a little bit too methodical for them. But other than that, I think this is mostly a streaming thing. And then we also have from Soggy Concha, who says, I haven't seen it. I will, though. I adore its art style. I think Spider-Verse should be given a lot of credit for starting this sort of artsy, sketchy art style that so many movies have taken up. Like the Puss in Boots movie also had this art style. So it's pretty cool. I do wish that we get more movies with it, to be honest. Although, fix the faces. I do not like the faces. I'm sorry. But if you see this movie, you will understand what I mean when I say, like, every human except for April has a messed up face. You'll understand. I'm sorry. Natanya Mullings, thank you again, Natanya, says, I haven't seen it yet, but I probably will go see it. If you do see it, you'll probably enjoy it. Again, I do think it's a solid film. It's well made. It's entertaining. I just don't think it's, like, so exciting you need to rush to the theater. But I do think you'll at least think it was a good time in the theater. So I hope you do see it. All right. So again, thank you everyone for being a member. That was the end of my review. So now we're just going to open up the rest of this live stream to a Q&A. You guys can ask me about the TMNT review or the Fantastic Four stuff or really anything. I promised you guys an hour. I try to make these live streams an hour, so what do you guys think about the movie or really anything? Sorry. Do you guys understand what I mean about the faces? Okay, Tegan and Hoperuni, thank you so much for the super chat. Why won't it go up? Sorry. Hello? Okay, the curse of the streaming movies. Yeah, I feel like, again, in order to justify yourself being in theaters, you really have to make your movie seem like it's worth going to the theaters for. And I do think this is very good, to be fair. The art is incredible. I think the art is like the most reason to actually see this movie in theaters. Other than that, I think the story is just fine. I think if this movie was exactly the same story-wise, but the art style was more like typical Pixar, I don't think people would be raving about it nearly as much. That's my theory. We have Dee Dee, who also gifted 5 memberships. Wow. You guys have been incredibly generous on this live stream. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dee Dee. Wow. Again, thank you. If you are a member, who is a member? Oh, the cover girl is a member now. Thank you. Who else? Didn't show me. Okay. Nicholas Wilson. Oh, you're a member now. Thank you. Pretty Princess is a member now. Shelly Lee is a member now. Maiden is a member now. Oh, okay. Oh my god, I'm so happy. This is so great. Again, sorry. Again, come to my the community page. We're going to be talking more over there. I'm going to give you all the personal shout outs in my videos. It's going to be great. I know, Ro. Any other questions? Aaron Lopez says, what are properties that you would like to see turned into visual media that hasn't been adapted yet? That's a good question. That hasn't been adapted yet. You guys know I really want to see Atlantis adapted. I want to see Atlantis adapted so badly. I know this isn't like an adaptation, but a sequel I would really like is a Coraline sequel. I've always wanted a sequel to that movie. Mikey says, what do you think will play Moana in the live action Moana? Oh, who do you think will play Moana? It'll probably be a no name because they're going to have to go with a Polynesian actress. And there's just not too many that are well known, so there's probably going to be a no name. Editing Geek says, what's your favorite ride at Disney and Universal? Okay, Universal, it's the Hulk. Loved the Hulk. At Disney, it's probably Pirates of the Caribbean, but the one in Disneyland. Thank you for the question. Oh yes, thank you, Prince. Please remember to like and subscribe. I know there's a number of people who watch my live streams that aren't subscribed, so you guys should subscribe so you guys don't miss any of my live streams. Also, please make sure to like the live stream so it gets sent out to more people. It really does help. I'm glad there's so many other people who love Coraline too. And Atlantis. I feel like Atlantis is probably Disney's most underrated movie. Oh yeah, Riaru. I think if Disney don't go with the Polynesian actress for Moana, I think the movie's just dead on arrival. What is my least favorite movie, Koharu? Well, my least favorite theatrical experience was seeing The Last Airbender because I was so excited for that movie. So excited. To the point where I was even like on forums before that movie came out because I wanted to see all the updates on what was going to happen with that movie before it even released. And then, of course, if you saw The Last Airbender, you know how thoroughly disappointed I was. And I remember I went to go see it with a friend, and I just stayed there till the end of the credits, and I was just like, that's it? That's what I was so excited for all year for? It was like just the most gut-wrenchingly disappointed I've ever felt over a movie. And still, I have to say I think Jurassic World Dominion is still a worse movie technically, but I'll never be more disappointed than when I saw that film. Oh, Riaru, I'm glad you also agree. It was so bad. Oh my god, I'm bringing back bad memories for the chat. I'm so sorry. The Last Airbender, it was the live action remake of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was one of my favorite shows as a kid. And they butchered my boy. Oh, it was so bad. Maiden said, what kind of movie or Disney movie would you want? What kind of story, since Hollywood doesn't want to be creative anymore? Ooh, I love musicals, so I would love Disney to keep making more musicals. My personal, like, dream geeky fantasy would be a space opera musical. It would be a musical in space. Like, basically Star Wars, but a musical. That would be like my two loves, sci-fi and musicals together. That's what I'd want to see. The Free Rocket Man says the Jurassic World franchise should have ended a long time ago. Yeah, honestly, I don't think a single sequel has been good. Only the first one's good. Ant Motion Going says live action anime never works. I don't think there's ever been a successful adaptation, has there? A-Rel-W says, I need to get into Airbender. I was a Power Rangers fan. Oh, Airbender is so good. I actually recently rewatched the whole series, and it held up amazingly. I was a little nervous. I was like, oh no, is this show not going to be as good as I remember as a kid? But no, The Last Airbender totally holds up. The show, not the movie. Purple Molly says, there is a musical in space. It's Nebula something. Is there? I know there's, what's it called? Flash Gordon? I haven't seen it, but I've listened to the soundtrack. That's like the only space musical I can think of. Alita was a good adaptation. I did like Alita. We're getting a sequel to Alita, apparently. I don't know if that's really gonna happen, but I did see a rumor that it might happen, so that's interesting. Okay, so Yellow Umbrella is curious about One Piece. Maybe One Piece will be good. Honestly, I've been thinking about getting into anime just because while I was watching TMNT, I was starting to wonder if the problem was me. Because I was like, I know so many people love this movie. So many people are so positive about this film. Why don't I love it as much as everyone else does? And I think the reason is because I'm just getting so tired of like the same storylines I keep seeing over and over again that even when something's done really well, it's like nothing blows me away, you know? I think that's why I liked Barbie so much, is because it just felt so new. Tegan and Hopperoni says Disenchanted was awful. Also, my other worst is Ratchet and Clank movie. My god, I had to sit through that. I'm so sorry. I did watch Disenchanted. I don't think I hated Disenchanted as much as everyone else did, but yeah, it clearly was not as good as Enchanted. Connor Garrett says, who else remembers that Death Note remake on Netflix? Yeah, everyone who has watched that says it's very, very bad. So I don't think I'll ever watch that. Jules Elizabeth says, LOL, classic super cheesy movie. Queen did the soundtrack for Flash Gordon. That's why I've listened to the soundtrack, because I'm a big Queen fan. So I've listened to the soundtrack for Flash Gordon just because it's Queen, but I haven't seen the movie yet. I should watch the movie. I should watch Sailor Moon for anime. Maybe. Most of my anime knowledge is like Studio Ghibli movies. That's pretty much all I've seen. Oh yeah, the songs from Disenchanted were awful. Oh, they were so bad. Like, some of the worst songs. And honestly, most of the songs in Frozen 2 were also not that good. I did not like Frozen 2. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop, that was another anime remake that didn't do well. Any other questions? Oh, Motion Going says Batman and Robin is the worst movie I've ever seen. Oh, the worst best movie you've ever seen. I like some ironic movies. Like, I love, what's it called? Frankenfurter. Why am I drawing a blank on all this stuff? Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, I love campy. I love weird. I can do strange. I can do kind of so bad it's good. But it's when the movie's like in the mid zone that I'm like, I need more. Oh no, Prince. Oh, you really liked Frozen 2? I'm so sorry. I really loved Frozen 1. I just did not. I was so excited for Frozen 2 as well. It just did not come through for me. Brianna Does Art says, genuinely really did not enjoy Endgame when I saw it. Left the theater disappointed. Brianna did not like Endgame. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had a great theatrical experience. Endgame was fun. My theater cheered so much. That was probably one of my most memorable, like, fun theater experiences. I'm sorry yours wasn't the same. Purple Molly has never seen Rocky Horror. I've done Rocky Horror where they play it in a theater, and like you can throw popcorn and like stuff at the performers and stuff. I've done that a couple times actually. It's really fun. Editing Geek says, did you hear that Disney Channel actor talk about how they changed the name of the shows to avoid paying the actors and writers? Yes, I did see that. I almost brought it up on the stream, but I decided not to. Yeah, that's pretty awful, but it kind of explains a lot, because that happened. Because I remember when I was a little kid, and we were watching Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and then suddenly it was Sweet Life on Deck. I thought they were just changing things up because they wanted to be interesting, but now I know it's to pay everyone less, so that sucks. That happened when I saw the live-action Aladdin. My theater clapped when they hugged. Oh, that's great. Something I've noticed when I moved to New York is that people love to cheer here. Like, I've never been around a more, like, rowdy, like, excited audience than the audiences that go to see the movies here in New York. Like, people get so excited about everything. The first movie I saw in the city was Wakanda Forever. And the audience clapped and howled and cheered for every line. I had never seen that before, except for, like, Endgame. And I was like, really? Maybe they just do this for the Marvel movies. And then I saw Megan. Yeah, Megan. Then I saw Megan. And I was like, oh, they just do this for all the movies. I was very, very surprised. Arvin Rufy says, Aubrey Plaza says that the Coven of Chaos is the survivor of MCU. Guess it was Agatha all along. Why is that Agatha show taking so long to come out? By the time that show comes out, WandaVision will have been like 3 years old. Like, I really loved WandaVision. It was my favorite show. It's still to this day my favorite Disney Plus show by a mile. And I was excited for an Agatha spinoff when they announced it because I loved WandaVision so much. But even I, all these years later, I'm like, do we still need to do this? I don't know. I think Marvel needs to focus on characters people care about. Prince says, do you know in India, Disney India made an Indian version of Disney Channel shows like Good Luck Charlie? Sorry. No, I did not know that. Disney's a pretty big company. They have like so many branches, sorry, oh my god, I cannot say words. Like I'm having like, my tongue is like tongue-tied or something. I'm sorry. But Disney is what I'm trying to say. Disney is everywhere. They have so many businesses, so much everything. I think they're getting rid of Disney Channel though. I think that's probably one of the things that's not sticking around for a while. They're probably getting rid of all their TV channels. Ethereal Dragon says, remember, as a New Yorker, you are required to hate New Jersey. See, I can't hate New Jersey, though, because my mom is from New Jersey. And if I say I hate New Jersey, then I'll get in trouble. Data Bing says, I just want a Dora Milaje spinoff. Tell me that wouldn't be dope. That would be cool. That would be cool. But when would we get to it? At this point, with the strikes and all the other stuff they still have to get to, that would be like 5 years away minimum. Like, I think they just have so much on their plate. Like, even if you are excited about something, it's gonna take years before they even get to it. House of Harkness sounds cool. It could sound cool. I like everyone involved. I like Aubrey Plaza. I've loved Aubrey Plaza since she was on Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation is one of my favorite shows. Love that show. So I'm rooting for her. I'm glad that she's having this like sort of career renaissance at the moment. Good for her. What's with the beef between New York and New Jersey? I have no idea. I'm not from here. And I'm afraid to ask my mom. New Jersey doesn't deserve all the hate. Tell me 3 reasons to hate it. No, I can't. What? How did this chat turn into New Jersey versus New York? What in the world? Natalie says we only just. Oh, Natalie. Wow. Natalie, sorry. We only just got a trailer for Loki season 2. I know. I did like the trailer for Loki. To be honest, I tried to rewatch the first season of Loki and I thought it didn't hold up very well. I thought the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Then when I tried to rewatch Loki, I was like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was. Because I couldn't even finish it trying to rewatch it. Honestly, the only show that I think has any rewatchability is WandaVision. Okay, Nicholas likes New Jersey. That's great. My zodiac sign, Prince, I'm a Gemini, which apparently people have strong opinions about. I don't really believe in the astrology stuff, but have at it with the Gemini jokes. I've heard them all. I don't know what's up with me and words, Yellow Umbrella. It's like sometimes my brain goes so fast and I try to like speak at the speed of my thoughts and I can't do it. And I trip over my words. Loki is overrated motion going. Very true. Fod Fareed says, everyone hates on Chicago right now. I'm from Chicago. Oh no. I won't make fun of Chicago. I've been to Chicago, actually. I liked it there. It was a very pretty city. Ethereal Dragon says, would like a Kingdom Hearts anime. Honestly, I think Disney should do more with Kingdom Hearts. I think it shows the age of the executives in charge that they haven't done anything with Kingdom Hearts. Because Gen Z and like younger millennials would eat Kingdom Hearts up if they ever did anything with that. Purple Molly says, maybe New Yorkers look down on the suburbs. I don't know. I don't look down on the suburbs. Although the main reason I moved here, is actually because of Harry Styles. Okay, this is like a tangent. We're not really talking about movies. This is just a conversation at this point. But I went to Harryween in October of 2021. I think it was 2021, which is a Harry Styles concert that he did at Madison Square Garden for Halloween. And I went there, and I traveled there because I didn't live in New York at that time. And I fell in love with the city so much. I was like, I have to live here. I have to. And then the very next year, I moved to New York. So I actually did do it. So that's why I ended up moving here, because Harry Styles made me do it. I told you I was a big fan. All right, we've been talking a lot. I'll take like 3 more questions and then that'll be it. Rel W says, who would be a good cast selection for a live action Atlantis? I think Bailey Bass, who was in Avatar, could be a good Natiri. That's her name, right? Or I could even see Holly Bailey could be a Natiri. What do you guys think? Yes, Harry Styles. I'm a big Harry Styles fan, okay? Some people are Swifties and some people are Harrys. It's all good. Larry Love says, Philly getting hate recently. People hate on major cities in general. I've lived in a couple of major cities. I've now lived in New York. I lived in Las Vegas. I've lived in LA. I've lived in Orlando. I've actually lived in a couple of big cities now that I think about it. All right, that's it. We've just evolved into like general talk, but I just like talking to everyone, so sorry about that. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we'll talk about whatever updates on the strike or movie news that happens over the weekend. I love talking to you guys. It's really, really fun. I really love these live streams. You guys are so great. And thank you for all the generosity today. Like, the gifting of the memberships is just incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's it. Bye.